Hello and welcome to QETV Live Show with your host, Miss H. I am so glad that you tuned in today, and to all my viewers, I really want to take this opportunity now to say thank you for viewing the QETV Live Show and for liking the QETV Facebook page. Again, that's QETV Live with your host, Miss H. I am really thankful and grateful because I could not be popular or be liked or be FaceTime or on my Instagram page, as well as tweet me and tell me how you like the show. Go on the YouTube channel and let me know that you're watching some of my previous videos that we have downloaded that was live streamed, pre-recorded. So I just want to say thank you for following me on those social media pages. Again, that's QETV Live at gmail.com, QETV Live at Facebook. Just go on, like me. If you like what you see, like what you're viewing, you like some of my guests, tell me one of your popular shows and tell me why you like the QETV Live show. But now I want to say thank you to the event, to all those who joined me on the QETV Mix and Mingle. I'm going to throw up a picture of me and the captain real quick. And I just want to say thank you to all those who joined me on the Odyssey at the waterfront in Southwest Washington, D.C. on this past Sunday, October the 6th, from 5 to 8. We had a splendid time. We had a beautiful networking cruise. We also turned it into a graduation celebration. I want to say congratulations to Dr. Martha Crenshaw and also to Glenn Strickland, who joined the ranks of life coaching class from Manifestation University, from the our mentor and trainer and life coach Rodney Middleton. So I want to say congratulations to Dr. Martha Crenshaw and to Glenn Strickler for getting their life coach certification. Again, thank you for being a part of the QETV Live show, Odyssey, Mix and Mingle. So I really do appreciate that, okay? We can take that down now. And I just want to go back to some other people that I want to thank that joined me on the cruise. Our network of businesses, our new group, business community. I want to say thank you to La Royalty Media and Patopia Travel, Deborah and Leroy Parham. Deborah is a travel agent who is helping me plan next year a 2020 birthday cruise. So I'll share more about that coming soon. But I want to thank you, Deborah and Leroy, for all your help and your support. Leroy came on in with Leroy Media, and he did a lot of my taping and pictures. And I just truly can't wait to see the videos and pictures that he have taken. But again, that's Leroy T Media and Patopia Travel, Leroy and Deborah Parham. I also want to thank Anthony Parham from Sea Turtle Marketing, who take care of all your marketing and social media needs. Hats off to Anthony Parham, who fit right in and came on board and joined our community of business networks. Again, that's Sea Turtle Marketing. If you want some marketing and media work, you can contact me at QETVLive@gmail.com, and I can get you in touch with Anthony Parham. I also want to thank Deborah. She also has another business. They have a different types of business. They're a cereal business owner. She also have Deboralicious Desserts LLC. She bakes cakes and pies. So with the holidays coming up, if you want someone to bake your cakes and pies, hats off to Deborah at Deboralicious Dessert LLC. I also want to truly thank my mentor, one of my mentor, Rodney D. Middleton, and he brought his family aboard the cruise. I have a call coming in. Okay. I want to thank you for joining me and making it a graduation cruise as well as a mix and mingle. We combined the two together, and Rodney Middleton was able to share and to give out his certification to Dr. Crenshaw and to Glenn Strickland. They joined the ranks of alumni who became certified life coaches. So now, Dr. Crenshaw and Glenn, you're now a certified life coach. You're well on your way to doing great things. But I want to thank Rodney Middleton from Manifestation University. He's the one who certified me, along with he's also the author of several books. He's been on my show. If you go back in my archive, you can research and pull him up. Dr. Middleton, I want to throw up a picture real quick to show you who he is, and let you see who that is. Rodney Middleton, delivering his success principles with a smile, that beautiful smile, but he was able to share with the students and encourage us, and he's always pushing us to that next level of thinking, getting our mindset to be where we're supposed to be. And then he's challenging us. What are your vision for 2020? Where do you want to be in the next 3 to 6 months? So if you're interested in joining the Life Coach group, then contact Rodney Middleton, Dion Middleton. Go on his Facebook page or go to his website and contact him, and he can give you further information about his classes and about all that he's doing, his books and his material and all the things that he is doing. As well as I have another picture that I want to put up. As you can see, I was just so thankful to be on board with Dr. Martha Crenshaw, and she also is a retired Navy officer, and I was really honored. Not only did we honor her with her certification, we also honored our military personnel. We had 4 on board that was veterans. So we always want to do something to honor those who have served our country. So congratulations, Dr. Crenshaw, and we honor you for serving our country. And it was an honor to be on board with you in the military. And again, like I said, QETV would like to thank some more people, so we can take that screen down. I have a few more people that I want to thank that came aboard. We can take that down now. Yeah. I want to thank a couple of more people. Ariel Middleton is a designer who is an entrepreneur. You can go on her website and check her out on Facebook. We also had Lori Conway Ray. She was one of our speakers on board that delivered words of inspiration. She's a life coach as well. And you can go back in the archives and you can watch Lori. I interviewed her here on the show as she debuted her new release book called Shinespiration. She's the author, as well as she's now writing a movie. So it's really interesting to follow her and to see where she's going since she have taken the life coach class. So hats off to you, Lori. Again, you could go to, excuse me, you could go to Lori Ray and follow her at shinespiration.com. Also would like to thank Gail Gain Reeves from KG Digital Studios. KG Digital Studios, she came aboard. Even though she was not hired as a photographer, she just happened to have her camera there, and she took a few shots. Some of the shots I just showed you, she took some of those pictures, but she does an awesome job when she is a freelance photographer. If you ever need her to do some freelance work, to do a private photo session of you, or if you got that new book or you want to put your glamour shot on your Facebook page, she will schedule a one-on-one appointment with you and get you all set up and media ready to take a professional photo of you. Again, that's Gail Reed at KG Digital Studio. She was on board and we truly had a wonderful time with her. I have a few more. I want to thank Lily and her husband, Foma, from Voss. She has a business that works as well as a makeup artist. She sells a lot of teas, that's good cleansing teas for your skin, for your body. She also will do private one-on-one consultation. So you can get in touch with her. Again, her name is Lily, Foama, Foma. So you can get in touch with her at Voss Esthetician and Beauty.com. That's VOSTESTHETICAN and Beauty.com. Voss Esthetician and Beauty.com. And we also had Pastor Glenn Strickland. He is a lighting person. If you need extra lighting for your home, if you have a lot of dark areas in your home and you just want to put that extra lighting, he works with LED lightings on the inside or outside of your home. Call Glenn Strickland, and he's also now a licensed certified life coach. So has the ability now to come and speak on your behalf. That's Pastor Glenn Strickland. You can get in touch with him at pastorglenn.org. I also had a new person on board that I'm really appreciating. I had him on the show. Again, if you go back in my archives, a lot of the business people that came aboard the Mix and Mingle are some of my community networking partners that I have interviewed on the show. So you actually can go back and watch Rodney Middleton. You can watch Lori Ray. You can see the live interviews I did with them. You can go and look us up according to our name, as well as I had Frank Sanchez. He is an accountant and tax guru. He owns New Day Taxes, LLC. He's out of Charles County, and he will take care of all your accounting and taxes, anything that you need, even if you have to go back and do previous taxes. He even goes to court with you to do your taxes. He can get a lot of your taxes reduced. But he also loved to work with new businesses, startup businesses, to get you started in the right direction. But if you are already in business and you've gone through some challenges, or you just need someone to help you keep your books, do some bookkeeping, he also have a team of people that help him with your bookkeeping needs. Again, that's Frank Sanchez at New Day Taxes, LLC. He brought his handsome son Frank Jr. on with him, and I was really enthused at meeting him, and he's soon going to be an entrepreneur doing some great things. We had Linnell Russell, who is a realtor. If you have any real estate needs, you can contact Linnell Russell. If you have real estate needs, you can contact her if you want to buy or sell real estate. See, we had so many people on the cruise that I'm just trying to give a shout out to all of them. And you can reach Linnell at Russell Linnell, her last name, then her first name, Russell Linnell 52 at gmail.com. I'm trying to make sure that I get out their social media handle out so that you can contact her. That's Linnell Russell. She's a realtor. So if you're buying, selling, or want to rent, contact Linnell Russell. Again, I had Dr. Martha Crenshaw. And another thing about Dr. Crenshaw, if you have any HR, you need some work, an advisor, or you need some leadership management, she is an analyst when it comes to the HR and project management. She can come in and help you with your HR and project management needs, as well as if you are retired in the military. Because she is a retired veteran and was a Navy officer, she understands the ins and out about veterans. So if you are having any challenges or you want questions answered, she will be willing to help you and support you in answering that. You just get in touch with her at AABM Crenshaw. Again, that's AABM M. Crenshaw at AOL.com. And that's Dr. Martha Crenshaw. You can always call me here at the show, or you can contact me at QETVLIVE show and at gmail.com, and I can give you these people names and number. We also had another beautiful mother and daughter couple, and I always, even though she wasn't in business for herself, she's an educator in the Baltimore School District. And I want to say hats off to Sharon and Kiara Weems. As a professional educator, I want to thank you for your service. Anyone who take time with our children, our babies in the school system deserves a shout out. You know, shout out to you, Sharon and Kiara, for showing up, being a part of the QETV Live Mix and Mingle. I'm just so thankful that all of you came and that you were able to have a wonderful time. And from there, I'm going to take a station break. Don't go anywhere, and I will be right back.
So you like smooth jazz? Great. Horn of Plenty, Harvest Harmony from saxophonist Travis Bridges. Smooth jazz and all the sax you'll ever need. Available at travisbridges.com. 786-487-7338. Horn of Plenty from Travis Bridges. All the sax you'll ever need.
You're watching the QETV Live Show with your host, Mrs. H. Tune in at voxwave.com or call in at 240-719-2560. Again, that's 240-719-2560. We're located at 4711 Alt Place in Camp Springs, Maryland. Watch live the QETV Live Show every Thursday from 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Would you like to be a guest on the QETV Live Show with your host, Mrs. H? You may reach her at 240-353-3806. Again, that's 240-353-3806, or email QETVlive@gmail.com. The QETV Live Show is bridging inspiration and information for everyday life. You're watching the QETV Live Show with your host, Mrs. H. And here's your host, Mrs. H.
Hi, and welcome back to QETV Live Show with your host, Miss H. I am just so excited that you were able to tune in and watch us live today. What I'm going to do now, I want to pick up from 2 weeks ago. You remember I talked to you about Lady Wisdom. I am really on the verge of seeking God to put that title on my name as a woman of God, to be wise in all my ways. So that handle, Lady Wisdom, is something I embrace. So in order to become that Lady Wisdom that I want to become, and in order for you to become, and you can be a man of wisdom, a woman of wisdom, a child of wisdom, no matter what your age. You can have toddlers full of wisdom when you teach them as parents how to come in and go out. You remember I introduced 2 weeks ago, if you go back and watch my show from 2 weeks ago, it was discussing how to come in and go out in life. God has set it up that way where nothing should take you by surprise. You should have the ability to go in and to come out and do things decent and in order. And in order to find that path of life, to do that, you must go back to what we call the Word of God to show us how to go in and to come out. And we started with our foundation, where in order to do this, God showed us exactly step by step how to do it. He started with Solomon. He told Solomon had a dream, and he came to Solomon by night in a dream. And Solomon said, he asked Solomon, remember he gave Solomon that blank check. And he said, Solomon, what do you want? And I don't know if you remember, but go back to the archive and watch the show. And like me on Facebook once you watch it and tell me what you thought about it. He said, what is it you want me to do for you? And I gave you the example that we have a movie out now called Aladdin. Will Smith is playing a genie in the movie. And I told you that if you watch any fable or cartoon with a genie is on the cartoon, anytime someone discover a genie, follow me now. God is not a genie, but I'm giving you an example. But every time someone finds a genie in a bottle and they rub that bottle and they let the genie out, for letting the genie out, the genie will give them 3 wishes. And it will never, ever, I can tell you, you can always count on this. Find any show that has a genie and see, doesn't this happen? The genie will tell the person you got 3 wishes. So without thinking, they don't think before they ask for those 3 wishes. They're so excited that they get these 3 wishes that wish number 1 is so unprepared for and unplanned that they just burst out of their mouth with anything and they ask for a wish. And we're going to use the example. They ask to be the richest person in the whole world. And then when they get that wish, they did not ask for wisdom on how to be that rich person. And then problems come along and they're hated and just things start happening that they never anticipate. Then they come back to that genie and wish number 2, they usually ask for something to go along with it. Now I want all the wealth and riches. Now I want all the cars, the houses, and the boats. So they ask for even more material possession. And then they get themselves in more trouble. And then they get so much in trouble that the 3rd wish have to get them out of wish number 1 and wish number 2. And by that time, they're out of wishes and they cannot go back and undo the damage. So one of the things I asked you before I went on that station break that day, I said, if God came to you and gave you a blank check like he did with Solomon, what would you ask for? Because he asked Solomon that question. Again, God is not a genie. He is the Almighty God. He's a heavenly Father, and he's the shepherd, a great shepherd of the sheep. And he says, the Lord is my shepherd and I do not want. He takes care of us. And he said, whatsoever things you desire when you pray, ask and you shall receive. So he asked Solomon, what is it that you want? So Solomon already in his heart was prepared. You know why? Because during this time, Solomon was getting ready to take over one of the largest kingdoms in the world. His father was the king of Israel. King David was his father. He grew up with his father and he watched his father all his life manage a kingdom. King David was a king for over 40 years. Solomon now is in his younger years, probably nowhere the age between 20, maybe 30 years old, if that old. So now Solomon been trained up in the kingdom and in the king's court all his life, and he watched his father in a peacetime. You know, there's wartime and there's peacetime. So he watched his father during this peacetime, and his father had a great reign. A lot of hiccups, but nevertheless, there was no wartime where he saw his father going to a lot of battles and losing. So he said, my father is old and has given me the kingdom. I don't know how to be king over all of these people. So when God asked him, what is it you want, Solomon? He says, I want wisdom. I want to know how to come in, and I want to know how to go out among your people, because I love the fact he called them God's people. And God was so astonished and amazed by the request that Solomon made that he says, I will grant you wisdom that no other king has ever had, nor will they have. So all of a sudden, Solomon now has been given wisdom to go in and to come out. And I'm using that word go in, come out, because that's the word they use in the book of Kings, where he asked for wisdom to be able to go in and come out. You may ask for wisdom to go in and come out on your job, in your school, as a parent, as a husband, as a wife, as a brother, as a sister. No matter what your job or your business is, and no matter what it is that you need wisdom for, you want the ability to do it and to do it well. That's simply what he's saying. I would like to know, how do I succeed in what I'm about to put my hands on? Because if I don't succeed, I will lose this kingdom, and other kings will come in and destroy what my father has built up. And they will demolish our kingdom and take our wives and children as a ransom, burn our kingdom down, and take all the spoil. So God, the Bible says God granted him wisdom to be able to go in and to come out. And again, you can find that in the 1 King chapter 3. So now he gets this wisdom. And when he gets this wisdom, he began to walk before God's people, and he began to use this wisdom. He used it to the point that people from near and far will come to hear the wisdom of Solomon. They even talk about a black African queen named Queen of Sheba. She traveled to hear the wisdom of Solomon, and she said, your wisdom is so great that when I came in person, the half has not been told. Your wisdom is so great, it has taken my breath away. She became speechless, breathless. But he wrote the book of Proverbs. Why did he write this book? He knew that one day he would leave here, and he needed a legacy to leave behind. And the book of Proverbs, there's 31 chapters, and I always says that if you read a proverb a day, you will be walking in this type of wisdom every day of your life, because there's 12 months in a year. And usually in each of these months, you have either 30 days or 31 days. And for the 31 days, you have a proverb a day. On the 30th day, you can read any chapter at least one more time. It's not going to hurt. It's just going to improve the wisdom you're walking in. And then when in the month of February, you may have 28 days, 29. So you may have to double up a little bit, but that's still okay. But I just want to be able to look at the book of Proverbs and show you some of the things that he began to walk in and some of the things he began to leave behind in the book of Proverbs. Beginning with chapter 1, I want to read that to you real quick. And then I'm going to go on another station break and I'll be back. But in Proverbs 1, he starts off by saying, these are the Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David. See, he recognized who his father was, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity. The book of Proverbs is to give subtlety to the simple, meaning to take what may seem like is very difficult in life, but I'm going to break it down for you. And I'm going to make life real easy for you if you follow some of my principles that I'm leaving behind. It says a wise man will hear. So one of the greatest principles in life is to learn how to hear and listen when someone is giving you instruction about those things in which you don't know anything about. To give ear and to increase in learning. Another principle of proverb is to learn how to increase your learning. When you don't understand something, go and find out how to do it. There are so many people, so many books, so many places in which wherever you like wisdom, wherever you like knowledge, there's a set of instructions that you could always go and get to improve in that. So number one is learn how to listen, to hear. You know, we have 2 ears, so we need to, and 1 mouth. My mother used to say you need to listen twice as much as you speak, because a person that's always talking, they're not listening and they're not learning. But sometimes you have to pull back and learn how to listen so that you can speak. And the other principle is to learn how to get a hold of knowledge and understanding. You know, the old NAACP used to put out a word back in the early 70s and 80s and say, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. That we need to learn how to understand the power of knowledge and understanding. And when we get knowledge and when we get understanding, we can apply that and learn to be wise. What I'm going to do now is go on a station break, and I'll be right back with some more words of wisdom for you. Hello and welcome back to QETV Live Show with your guest, Mrs. H, and with my special guest co-host, Kavette Kane. I just want to say thank you again for viewing. Right before we went on that station break and we was talking about wisdom, I just want to even increase that today with our guests, because sometimes wisdom and knowledge and understanding come through sharing and listening to other people's stories, their journey, and what they have had to offer in life. Because some people say experience is the best teacher. I don't agree with that. This is how I rephrased it in life. Experience is a teacher, but it's not the best. Because I don't think that you need to burn your hand to understand that fire burn. If you tell me that burn, then wisdom would say, I'm going to listen to you because I see that burn on your finger and you must know what you're talking about. So my special guest here today, Kavette Kane, I want to introduce you to a young lady that I do believe that her story, her journey, and her business life now, and turning around and helping you to understand how to have the right mindset and how to move on in life no matter what happens to us, and how to transform and turn yourself into your best self. I want to now welcome to the show Kavette Kane. Welcome, Kavette.
Thank you, Nike.
Thank you for coming.
It's a privilege to be here.
No matter how much it takes to do what we need to do, you're here.
Yes.
So what I want you to do is take a deep breath, and I want you to just go at it. We have about 15 minutes, and what we don't finish, we can always bring the guests on. We're just going to bring you back to talk to our viewer. You're just going to pique their interest today so they want to contact you and hear more. So introduce, who is Kavette Kane?
Well, I am a business development and financial coach. And what I do is I teach people how to make their money, make more money, so that they don't have to worry about their financial future, but so that they can focus on their career or their business or their family or whatever their life focus is at the moment. And being able to do that for me has really evolved out of my own personal need, which is, the case for so many of us as business owners. We end up doing things that we found as a need for ourselves.
Yes,
that we see
that's
are truly,
true.
A need in the marketplace, and definitely a benefit for everyone involved. So I have been involved in finance for over 20 years. I got my degree from Morgan State.
Yay, Morgan in the house. My son is a Morgan graduate, so
yeah, awesome.
The Bears.
And I'm actually working right now in partnership with American Classic Agency and Largo Financial Services right here in Maryland.
Okay.
And so working with this team, I've actually been associated with them since 2010. And so it's been a wonderful experience. I've had the privilege of working with one of the best mentors in the business, Mr. Douglas Eze.
Now, that was the event I had a chance to go to a couple of weeks ago. So you worked with that group of ladies that was there,
yes.
The Wealth and Wellness.
Women, Wealth, and Wellness.
Women, Wealth, and Wellness. That was off the chain, and it was free.
Absolutely.
So you're one of their agents.
The Women of ACA.
Oh,
yes.
I love it. You got to be a part of that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you get started in that? And tell us, how's it going now?
Okay. Well, I actually started in finance because I always wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Even, as a kid, everyone asks you, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? And so by my late teens, I had 3 business plans that I had set up, and arranged for myself, an idea of what I wanted to do, when I grew up. But I always knew that I couldn't be in a conventional position, so to speak, or, a regular job. I never saw myself working for 30 years at the same position,
yes.
For the same company even. And so I knew that I would have to be creative in my career. And so over the last 21 years since I started my first business, I have been very creative, and I've sold multiple products, multiple services. But what I found was at the root of each and every one of them is that no business is successful if you don't have good financial management.
Yes.
And so that's where I turned to ACA and to Largo Financial Services to get some training and support in building a financial business so that I could go out and share with other business owners what I've learned.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Now, also, I know you just moved back here. Where did you move from?
I moved back to the States in December from Puerto Rico.
Okay.
So I lived in Puerto Rico for 6 years, and it was absolutely an amazing 6 years.
Now, were you there during the Hurricane Maria?
Yes, we did. We survived Hurricane Maria.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we actually just had the second anniversary of that on September 20th, just passed.
Okay.
And so it was a very, I guess what I would call amazing experience, in that it was traumatic, devastating, and life-altering all at the same time.
I can imagine.
You know.
And how is it now? Do you have family back there?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I have,
how are they doing?
They're doing well. They, even with the storm that have continued to come up, and this year, with Dorian and other storms that have come through that area, I've been on high alert and been in contact with them, but they're doing fine.
They're doing fine.
They said nothing would compare to Maria. So.
Of course not. I'm just so glad that you're here to
ease.
talk about it.
Yeah.
And that's, again, wisdom is the ability to bounce back.
Yeah.
Because you could have been devastated and say, woe is me, and, have that down and out. How did you bounce back, get here, and push yourself forward to be able to move now to that next level? Because you have another business called Miramore Life. Yes. So I want to segue into that. Tell me about how you bounced back from the hurricane, continue what you were doing, yet knowing the devastation. You got family there, but life got to go on, and yet you're still able to transform. Give us a little glimpse into that.
Well, that's exactly what it is. It's a transformation, and it requires being flexible, being able to adjust with the circumstances and with changes, embracing them rather than resisting them.
Oh, I like that. Say that again.
Embracing rather than resisting change.
Change.
Yeah, because change is just part of life. It's something that we all experience and that we're all going to continue to experience. How it affects us, though, is determined by our perspective.
Oh, I love that.
And so how we view this change, is it going to be something positive, or are we going to make it something negative? And that's the whole thinking behind it. I
got to write that down for today. We got to send that out on a post.
Focus on the positive. And I have a very good friend who continues to remind me of that, and I'm very grateful for that, just to continue focusing on the positive, even when things get to be the most challenging. And I love what you said about wisdom. You're absolutely right. It's not something that you gain from your own experiences. Wisdom is having the intelligence or the knowledge or the ability to learn from other people's experiences, and being able to put into application the knowledge that you learn from those experiences.
I love it.
And so for me, it's unfortunate we didn't know how bad Maria was going to be, when the storm originally came through. I did hear of a few of my clients at that time, because, always an entrepreneur. My clients had left the island, and I'm like, why are they leaving the island? This is not, it's just a hurricane, no big deal.
Oh.
And we had experienced Hurricane Sandy here in Maryland long before I moved to Puerto Rico. And so I was thinking, okay, hurricane, Hurricane 3, level 3 was not so bad,
right.
But Maria came in as a level
devastating, yes.
Beyond level 5. She was 176 miles an hour winds, and we just happened to be where we thought was going to be the safest place, but was one of the most devastating experiences in the mountains, where actually, because of our high elevation, we were more exposed to the winds and the water from the storm. So and so we experienced the full brunt of the storm for 36 hours or more. The electricity on the island was cut off before the storm as a preventative measure. And so our experience was that we went without electricity for over 4 months. We had no running water for over a month. And we ate out of a box for a year, minimum.
Wow.
Was,
so
that
when
was just
when did you
challenging.
say, okay, I got to go back to the States and pick up from here and move on?
Yeah, well, I didn't. Circumstances kind of dictated that for
Dictate.
me. Yeah.
Other than that, you would have stayed.
Yeah, absolutely. I would still be in Puerto Rico now.
Okay.
Unfortunately, in
Okay.
December, and what has actually brought me to where I am right now, unfortunately, in December of 2018, my father passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But I have learned so much from that experience. I feel like there was a series of, over the last 2-3 years, a series of experiences that have kind of dictated where I am. But I know that all of that, or where I am right now, has been determined on the decisions that I made as a result of those circumstances and how I was going to face those circumstances, whether I was going to buckle and fold,
Exactly.
or to pick up
Exactly.
and continue to move forward. And I've chosen to continue to move forward because there are others who are dependent upon me.
That's right.
I have 2 boys, and they're men at this point. I can't say boys. My oldest is 22, and my youngest is 16. And I think about them in everything that I do, and especially that was emphasized with the death of my father, because I didn't have a close relationship with him before he passed away. But I had to step into his life for about 6 months and take over. He was a double business owner. He, had some property, and all of those. With all of that in place, he didn't have a will, and he didn't have any insurance, any life insurance. By the time he was seeking to get life insurance, he had already been diagnosed with brain cancer, and so he was ineligible for anything.
So your business you're in now, this makes you a little even more passionate
Absolutely.
about pushing it because
Absolutely.
you experienced it for yourself.
Absolutely. Well, I saw a lot of devastation through Hurricane Maria. We saw a lot of families lose fathers and mothers and brothers and sisters and daughters and sons.
Yes.
But in that process, it really, really hit home for me when my own father passed away. And I realized the impact that this advanced planning can have, or the lack thereof, because it literally changed my life. I had to step out of the life that I had there in Puerto Rico and come back to take over his life, essentially, and to kind of pick up the pieces and bring everything to closure so that we would be able to, as a family here, be able to move forward beyond his passing. And we've been able to do that, and it's been a blessing. My sister and myself have worked together in that process, and it's been a blessing for us to be able to have the resources that we have to get that. And it was just knowing where to go to get the guidance, which was key for me. But I understand that there's a lot of families and a lot of individuals who don't know what resources to use or where to go in order to put those kind of things together.
And that was leading into my next question. What would you suggest to the viewers out there? We got 3 minutes left. Tell them how, first of all, what would you suggest would be the first step? Because you can guide us and show us how, so that we don't have that devastation if something happened to us or a loved one. And what would you suggest would be the first step to take in order to move in that direction?
Well, there's 3 main things that you want to focus on. Of course, the first is having a will in place.
Okay.
And most people think that if you write a piece of paper and you send it to yourself in the mail that you have a will. No, that's not the case.
But wouldn't that be like in writing something to kind of...
Yeah, but it doesn't even count as anything
really?
in the face of the courts unless it's registered with your local county courthouse.
So it needs to be... What about if it gets...
Notarized?
Notarized.
You still have to register it.
You have to register it?
You have to register
And
the
see,
will.
and I've been told that. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter if you just write it on a piece of paper and have it notarized. They could use that as a legal piece of paper with your signature on it.
Right, but what people don't realize is that that's still subject to probate court.
Okay.
Because it hasn't been registered properly.
Okay.
And so it's debatable. So you can say that you want a family member or a friend to have certain things, but that may not be what actually happens because the proper steps weren't taken to solidify that decision.
So they need to go down to the courthouse and get it certified.
Yes, they have to go to the courthouse and get it certified and registered. With the Register of Wills in their county.
Okay.
And then once that's done, I would also recommend making sure that there is some kind of life insurance in place. there's definitely a need to cover the cost. My number one motto right now is GoFundMe is not a final expense plan. It's not what you want to rely on in such a circumstance as that, trying to reach out for people in desperation. It's the worst feeling in the world. And so you want to be able to have something financially in place so that you would be able to have some foundation for your family who is now suffering a loss because of their love for you. You don't want them to continue to suffer because they don't have the money to respectfully bury you. And things worked out very well for my family, just because of my sister and I working together. We were able to pull together some resources, but not everybody has those resources, in such a circumstance. And you want to make sure that those resources should be in place beforehand, because it was still very stressful for us trying to pull those resources together in the moments when we did. The third piece is to make sure that you have made arrangements with a cemetery or funeral home, so that the final arrangements can run smoothly. We worked with an amazing funeral home, and I don't know if I can say their name.
If you feel free.
Callis Funeral Home in Fort Washington, Maryland, was just a huge blessing to us. They were absolutely amazing, very welcoming, so warm. All the services were dignified, and I felt like they helped us to respect our father, in his passing. With his family and friends and co-workers, being able to have everyone come around. And that's what you want to feel at a time like that, where people can come and to support you and to encourage you. And, you don't want it to be more of, for lack of a better word, a pitiful affair. Where folks are coming in and they're feeling, more sorry for you than they can feel comforting towards you. And so all of that means taking steps in advance to get things in order. And, if anyone needs some guidance in that process, whether it be, for understanding how to do the will, for recognizing how to have the insurance in place, or even making arrangements for the funerals, what steps to take and what questions to ask, they can feel free to contact me. Either through Facebook on my Facebook page, Mari Moore Life, through Instagram, Mari Moore Life as well. And then
spell that out for them.
It's at Mari Moore Life. It's MARIMORLIFE. And some people have asked me where I got that name from, because it is very different. But for me, it's the Spanish influence, Mariposa Morena, which for me is a bronze butterfly. And I look at the butterfly as one of my favorite animals. But it means to be in transformation.
I love it.
And so for me, it's about transforming your life. It's about being able to go from one stage to the next, wherever you are, whether you're at the very beginning of something or you're in the middle and you're looking to go to the next level. And that's what I help my clients to do, whether they're individuals or business owners. To be able to take their lives to the next level.
I love it. And I can't believe that we're out of time. We're going to have Kavette Kane to come back, because earlier in the piece we talked about that wisdom to be able to come in and to go out. And in order to come in and to go out properly every day and to feel at peace in your life, and this is for the young as well as the old, because tragedy, circumstances, and accident does not have an age limit. So Kavette is here sharing with you how to get in touch with her, how she can help you walk through those steps, so that when emergency situations come, or when life happens, or just unexpected things take a turn in your life, you will have the wisdom and the guidance and the set of instruction and the principles to know exactly what to do. So again, Kavette, thank you for what
so much,
you
Nikki.
do.
I appreciate
God
you
bless
very
you.
much.
We love you. And again, I'll have you back so we can talk more about that, because it is a piece that we need. But I want to say to all of my QETV viewers today, go back and look at some of your wills and some of your life insurance policies. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me on this show at QETVLive@gmail.com, or you contact Kavette Kane at www.QETVLive.com. Marimor, MARIMOR, life.com, and we will make sure we get back with you and help you. Love you for all. Have a blessed day. Thank you. Bye-bye.